is going on, guys? Custom Arts Monster. Today I've got the build overview for the FT Simple Soarer. This glider right here has something a little bit special to it. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I released a video about the lights on this thing, which are pretty insane. If you guys have seen my other light projects, such as the mini arrow or anything like that before, this one is to the next level, and you'll see that here in a second. But I have had two other Simple Soarers. This is my third, and it's really great airframe, very high lift. Great glider. Whether you're just gonna chuck it, you can. I was chucking it into the wind today, and I was being able to fly it back to me. So I think it worked really well, and I was not disappointed, even with the added weight of the lights. So let's go ahead and plug this in. I'm using a 700 milliamp hour 2-cell battery connected to a 30 amp ESC. And as you can see in here, we have this special hatch. It is not the original hatch. I learned that one's just a little bit of a pain to put together and to count on. So since this is a smaller battery, as you guys can see right here, we do have a lot of weight in the front, including 2 drill bits, 4 nuts, and then the 2 bolts, and then a shim, which is like a paint stick. And the battery just is going to go ahead and sit in here. You guys can see we have this proprietary connector that I used an XD60 adapter to solder up to. And there you go. So you might have been able to see the little lights that came on right there. But basically, I'm going to go ahead and close the hatch. I have a rubber band to keep the hatch down. And let's go ahead and hit the lights right here. Alright. So, as you can see, guys, look at this. This is a beautiful plane. All around, you can see there's lights in the fuselage. We got lights in the main wings, as well as lights in the tail. And that is something that's really unique about this plane, because I just wanted to go all out and make sure that I could have full orientation of the plane during the night while I'm flying. And that's one thing that when I was flying my mini arrow at night, it only had 2 strips on the main wings, and that's all that I could use to orient it. And so when I flipped it over or anything like that, I really couldn't tell where I was. So as you can see on the wingtips, we don't have any green response, and that was because actually by an accident I cut the green terminal on this LED strip right here when I was putting the dihedral in the wings. And so what I did was I surgically cut another slit in the other side. So as you can see, they both come in unison, and that's where I can tell kind of where the wingtips are. It wasn't intentional, but it sure does add some spice to the overall look of the plane. And so of course I just put these LEDs right in the front of the spar, so it looks really nice, and hopefully it's gonna hold up pretty well since they're anchored down. And I wanted to kind of illuminate the airframe rather than just pushing straight into the foam. And that does really well, and you guys can see that on the fuselage. I went ahead and put the LEDs in the top of the fuselage, and then of course we've got the rest of the LEDs right here on the bottom of the horizontal stabilizer. So yeah, really looking nice. I can do any color really, but one thing that I like the most is just this rainbow, because I usually can't decide which color. So let's go ahead and get the lights back on. I'm going to go in a little bit more depth with my building experience. Alright, so like I said, this is my third FT Simple Soarer, and it's one thing that never changes is really how I liked it. And it's a really simple plane to build, and that's what I really thought would make it so useful for these LEDs, because you don't have any formers in the fuselage or in the wings to watch out for. So that made it a really great plane to build. Very simple: fuselage, wings, horizontal stabilizer, vertical stabilizer, and then we've got the nose. And this is a glider nose, of course. I do have a power pod that I'm going to put in this thing for motor use. However, this is the one that's exclusive to this glider. So let's go ahead and pull off the wings, and I'll show you guys what I got going inside. And by the way, this took about 2.5 sheets of foam to build, and it was really, really simple, like I said. So I was able to use scraps and just use 2 full sheets of foams for the wings, as well as some scraps for the rest of the parts that didn't fit. So yeah, as you can see, the wings have these 2 connectors right here, which are the servo leads, and you can see that this is a red, green, blue light sequence, and then this is a communication wire. So you've got 2 different wires, and that's just because there are 4 leads in total that I needed to transfer, and a servo extension only has 3. So then we also have the female coming out of the fuselage right here, and that works really well, so you can take them apart just like that. Now for my electronics, like I said, I am running a 30 amp ESC as a BEC, meaning there's no motor connected to it at all. And as you can see, that's right there, that yellow box. And then we have the Aura LEDs, which are the LED setup. If you have not seen those, go ahead and check out my DIY race gate videos where I use the same stuff. And this one's just a little bit more complicated. Now, our receiver I'm using is this Lemon RX, a little cheapo 6-channel, and it's worked great for all my projects so far. So I thought I'd just transfer it in there. And whenever I need to pull it out, I can just unplug everything, and I just stick it in there because it is concealed by the nose. And then the servos I'm using are all the way in the back, and that's why there's these weird splints on the fuselage. And actually that's because I kind of cracked it in some test flights. And so basically these are the standard SG90 servos that are $250 a piece, I believe. And they're really, really nice, reliable servos. However, they don't really aren't that durable, but thankfully for a glider, it's not really that necessary because you're not going to have any high-speed impacts. And like I said, I have these mounted all the way in the back. I actually cut away the fuselage and glued them in, then glued the fuselage to that, like you can see here. And normally they're supposed to go like way up here in the actual fuselage, so I decided to go ahead and push them back here because I'd rather use wire to get them up to here rather than a super long push rod because I don't have any more push rods. So I'm using the super little short push rods, and it works really well. So yeah, that's pretty much the build, and the electronics, again, have had no issues with this, and of course the little batteries. And you're supposed to use something bigger, and that's why, like I said, I have all this nose weight up here, and yeah, it's worked really well. As you can see, we have a few little impact damage, but because I put the shim up in the front that goes all the way up to the nose, the actual foam's not going to fold in on itself when you crash. So that's always an added plus when you can keep your plane nice and durable. So yeah, that's all that we have for this. I'm going to do some more flight videos and things like that. Then I'll publish my full review on this plane. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And please leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more custom RC mods. And once you subscribe, please go ahead, comment down a video you'd like to see. If you can do it, and if I can do it, I would be happy to. And if it's within reason, I'd be love to publish it for you. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.